right, boys, yeah, come on.
Get involved, everybody, get involved, play together.
Right.
Good evening, welcome along to this My Albion TV live stream. We've got more from the PL2 for you tonight as Mike Sherron's Blackburn Rovers are the visitors to Lancing. Both sides come into this one off the back of league defeats 9 days ago. Both teams also conceded 3, but Blackburn ran their visitors Chelsea a bit closer than the Seagulls, going down 3-2 to the Londoners, with the winning goal coming in injury time. As for the Seagulls, well, they suffered a 3-1 loss away at Spurs. Despite the result, there was a positive for Marcus Eiffel to take from the game. He scored his first goal in the PL2. Look at the sides then, 3 changes to that 3-1 defeat away at Spurs 9 days ago, with Packham, Baker Boerty and Tommy Reid all dropping out of the matchday squad. Goalkeeper Tom McGill is back in for his 3rd appearance in the PL2 this season, with Finn Talley dropping to the bench. Julio Enciso gets his 4th run out in the PL2 this season, and 18-year-old Luca Barrington is back in the starting lineup for his 8th start since moving south from Manchester City in the summer. As for the visitors, well, Mike Sherron makes 6 changes, with Haddo, Walker, Duru, Murphy-Worrell, O'Grady-Macken and Bloxham all coming in for the start. Striker Tom Bloxham is starting as a trialist for the Lancashire side. Well, as you can see there, those in blue and white are ready. I think the huddle has just dispersed from Blackburn, all in navy blue, as you can see there. The referee tonight, Gary Parsons, just trots over to the middle. We are almost ready. As I say, both sides this evening with points to prove after league defeats 9 days ago. And the Seagulls have actually only won 1 of their last 6 in the PL2. That was against Leicester at the end of last month. But Luca Barrington will fancy his chances tonight. As I say, he's back in the starting 11 as we get underway. And he had a goal and an assist in the reverse of this game back in November. Seagulls coming away from Lancashire 2-1 winners. Already on the front foot here as Perpion sends one in. And the keeper, Aidan Dowling, just barges into his own player there. Nothing much worse than that for the time being, fortunately. Would have been a horrific start if the ball were to bounce loose for a Seagulls player. As it is, still square, just a few seconds on the clock. And a chance for Samuels to try and... Well, shot in early, straight at McGill. Well, almost errors at both ends, both sides just waking up in this one. And McGill had to be alert to that one. It was straight at him. Samuels couldn't clear, neither could Nielsen, and then stepping across was a fire. Fortunately, straight into the midriff of Tom McGill. Seagulls go long. This is Hinshelwood now. Square left is Samuels. So only a minute played already, a fairly frantic start. The Albion would just want to try and slow down proceedings if they can in these kind of positions, but you can see the high press early on from the visitors. Trying to set the precedent for this one early with a high tempo as Barrington drifts over to the left. This is Hinshelwood again. spraying one out to this near side. Nielsen is there, so too is Perpion, who has it now. Hinchy now, to his midfield partner of Hinchelwood. Bit too much on that one for Hinchelwood, so Blackburn will move down this near side. This is the trialist Bloxham. Just shrugged to ground, so first free kick of the evening.
I'll take it. Al.
One sent forward into the middle. The target was Harry Leonard. Seagulls still need to wait for the ball to drop before they can clear it out to this near side, but in hope rather than expectation. Perpion was never going to get that one. Mahoney, it is closest to the defenders there, applying the pressure. Made his full PL2 debut against Spurs, and also 7 minutes of that 3-1 win I mentioned earlier against Leicester. That was just 4 days after joining from Cork City. This now is a fight, playing more centrally than perhaps he normally would and has done, or normally more of a right back, can play as a right winger as well with Delafire. Today partnering Ben Jackson. So those in blue and white just trying to stay disciplined, stick to those in navy blue. Tussle ensues over on that far side, and the Seagulls look to overturn possession quickly and then shift it out to Perpion on this near side. Nielsen's on his bike. So it goes infield. This is Hinchy. It's it back from Hinchelwood. Hinchy, who's just returned from a hamstring injury. Now the skipper under Shannon Ruth.
Julio,
Mahoney again, just tempted in. Put pressure on Dowling as he clears. But both sides with the high press in the opening 5 minutes, just trying to force the issue. Neither really settled down as Jackson there intervenes high up the pitch illegally, according to Gary Parsons. So, no doubt a few of you will be switching on tonight to look at how Julio Enciso gets on. Looks as though he started on the left-hand side as the Seagulls go back into McGill. Needed to get it right, and they do. This is Hinchy looking up, just driving through now, looking right and then left. Now we will see Enciso pick it up, skips away from the first man, and then has a go. There is a deflection on that one. So it will be the first corner of the evening for the Seagulls. Well, he didn't quite get the hit right, Enciso, so fortunate to have won the corner. They won't care too much about that if they can capitalise. It's Barrington who's wandered over to that far side to take this one. There you see Enciso just hovering outside the area. Probably at the bottom of your screen there. In towards the back post it goes, and Perpion was able to get there. The angle was ever so tight, always going to be tricky. And to pluck it out of the sky as well, side-footed on the volley. Really tricky chance that for Perpion. Blackburn go short again. Barrington stayed up, and then Enciso does well to stay on his feet actually. Rather dragged towards ground, but it will be a Brighton free kick. Good position. That means you can see a fire and Jackson just wander up. So in discussion, Julio Enciso and Luca Barrington. Be the right foot of Enciso or the left boot perhaps of Barrington. Hand goes up from Barrington.
Ethan, get in the line, don't get a run on him. Ethan, don't let him run on you. Hopefully do it. Ethan.
Left for Enciso. Doesn't get past the first player. Back there defending was Murphy Worrell. Straight out for the throw-in.
Ethan, talk, have a look. Around you, Ethan, couple of lads. Be available. Jared, left shoulder.
Hinshaw back into Samuels. That's a bit too loose. Harry Leonard can pick this one up and win the free kick. Leonard, one of only 5 survivors from that Chelsea defeat, starting up front today, scored his 7th goal in the defeat to Chelsea. Also has 3 assists to his name in the PL2 so far this season. Dowling sends it long. Samuels was onto it, then was Hinshaw, then Hinchy, but none of those 3 can get the ball down effectively. So Blackburn look to shift it out to this near side there left. Good tussle between Nielsen and Ethan Walker. Bounces out eventually for a throw-in. Intensity from the visitors in this opening 9 minutes has been good. Both teams trying to quickly counter. This is the skipper Dan Pike. Back into Walker again. Deflection takes the sting out of that cross, and it's easy enough then for Tom McGill. Well, this is something we've seen from the first team as well under Roberto De Zerbi. Just trying to tempt in the attackers from the opposition with studs on top of the ball to open up the gaps ahead of them. And Jackson's continued his run. It's high tariff stuff, and the Seagulls have given it away again. Now with Bloxham. Into Harlock. It's good work though from Samuels. A few Blackburn shirts around him, is able to skip away from trouble, and then Barrington looks to play it out to Perpion. Doesn't get past Jay Haddo. Haddo called into action again, but a fire was helped out by Perpion. This now is Jack Hinshelwood. Samuels has continued his run, picks it up from Enciso. Again, a couple of Blackburn shirts around him. Looks for the return ball into Enciso, who goes to ground. No real appeals around the Paraguay international, so play goes on. Bloxham just chips it back. Barrington was close enough to Murphy Worrell to force the clearance out for a throw-in. So rather frenzied and frenetic from both sides opening up. Just a half chance so far for the Seagulls. Enciso with the miscued shot. And McGill was called into action as well. One thumped straight into him. Oh, and that's loose. Leonard. Just to his left, he's got Walker. Instead has a go himself, and the block was from a fire. McGill does just about enough, able to shift his balance across and just keep that in play. And restarted quickly, all the way out to Nilsson, then back into a fire, where it came from originally, McGill. Well, they're persisting with the game of tempting in Blackburn, but they've been aggressive. And once again, the Seagulls can't keep hold of it.
Get them in the picture now, Jared.
Hold, Mark, hold.
Hey, inside, Harry.
This is George Pratt looking out to Haddo. Nilsson able to step in, and now Perpion will try to step in. Barrington rebounds off Jared Harlock. Perhaps a chance again though for Perpion. Oh, the flag in this near side has gone up.
Seven, look at me. Stay up, stay up.
Let's not turn it down.
Yes, Jack, into it.
Find you, Jared. Step inside then, Jake. Can you go inside?
Go on, Mark, start to go.
Go, get the same.
Your time. Mark left, Mark left.
Free fire, can he still find you?
Dropping deep there is Harlock.
There you go.
Seagulls maybe just out of the two sides, dropping that little bit deeper, allowing more time for the Blackburn back four. Chance now to turn there for O'Grady Macken. And now a chance for Leo Duru, back in the squad today, was looking for Murphy Worrell in the middle, and again it's in McGill's hands.
Screen them two, Harry. Hey, no, you should be talking with him.
And again, he bowls it out underarm to a fire.
Ethan, stay narrow.
Just waiting till the last moment. In goes Harry Leonard, he's interested. Back from Hinchy into McGill. In going forward is Harlock. Well, they don't look comfortable, the Seagulls. Having to zip it around a bit quicker than they'd probably like. As Perpion goes into Nilsson. That's a good offload from O'Mahony. A fire first time back into McGill. McGill afforded some time outside of his area. Immediately looks out left to Enciso. It's over his head and out for the throw-in. Enciso just points to where he wanted that one, or perhaps a teammate more centrally. Oh, Enciso. Perhaps he can punish Blackburn here into the area, still going. He's rolled away from a few challenges. Instead left for Hinchy. Well, it was a good layoff and good work in the build-up from Enciso. Was able to turn over possession, then just hold off a couple of Blackburn players. And he did tee up Hinchy, but Hinchy doesn't get the finish right at all.
Tom, drop in!
Pratt back into Dowling. Dan Pike, the skipper, is the other right centre-back who split either side of the 6-yard box. Back into Dowling. Led to him by Walker, and again O'Mahony was lurking, so much like Seagulls at the back, Blackburn having to be hurried.
Okay, get up! Come! Down the line of him, Tom!
Jackson over to Samuels. Enciso with the first time layoff back into Jackson. Chance for Hinchelwood to turn. Oh, and that's gone straight out to O'Grady Macken. Oh, and just wide of that right post. Well, how many times have we seen in this opening quarter of an hour the Seagulls just rushing it at the back? The press from Blackburn has been energetic all night, and it was given straight to O'Grady Macken. I thought for a minute the net was going to bulge, inches wide of McGill's goal. Well, both sides seemingly with a similar game plan, trying to execute the high press, trying to draw in the opposition when they have it at the back and open up those gaps beyond it. Just now it is the visitors pulling it off a little bit better in the opening 17.5 minutes. Grady Macken going closest, but a chance here for Hinchelwood to feed it into Perpion. Just a bit too much fizz on that one, and behind for the goal kick.
Pratty, listen here, Pratty. Once you've had 3-4, 4 or 5 pressing, just spin it in. Edo, come on, Edo. Unlucky Jack, Campbell down, Mark, well done. Good, Luca. James Simon. Go on, Jackie. Pratty.
Floated towards halfway, target Leonard, but the Fire was always going to win that one. Then just scooped forward by Hinchelwood. Hinchy does the right thing and tries to bring it down. This now is Nielsen. Nielsen throw into Hinchy wasn't the best, but the Seagulls do nip it back from Blackburn and now look to make strides down the left wing. Enciso, step overs up against Duru.
That'll do. Stop the switch now. Over you come on.
Good switch over to Nielsen. Perpion's just ahead of him, who he finds. See the Blackburn shirts back in numbers. So Perpion just drives again, hangs it up to the back post, actually lands on the back of Samuels there. Chance maybe for Enciso to hit it, deflection and save. That's where the Seagulls fans will want to see Enciso hit it, and Barrington sends it over towards Hinchelwood. Still, danger not clear for Blackburn. Maybe he'll have another go. Few step overs. Enciso goes for another try. And over on this occasion. Well, Enciso certainly carrying the most threat on that far side for the Seagulls. We see the first chance here. Blackburn just afforded him a bit too much time. There's a slight nick on its way through. So it's a tremendous save in the end from Dowling. And then as for the second chance, similar position for Enciso. On that occasion, just blazes it over. George Pratt just trying to calm down proceedings there. You just see him gesticulate with his hands as if to say calm down. This could be a good chance though for Bloxham. Good hold-up play from Bloxham, just twirls around and then feeds it to Harry Leonard. Back into Walker with the hit. Oh, that's a really good stop from Tom McGill at full stretch. Again, I thought it was going into the top right, but for Tom McGill, it's an excellent hit from Walker. And the save from McGill is even better. Back underway from the corner. This is Pratt who stayed up. In now to Leonard. Will he get the shot off? Block. Falls back to O'Mahony. Now Perpion forced in some defensive work. Does all he needs to behind for the goal kick. Well, that really was a magnificent save from Tom McGill. Wouldn't have had much time to react to that, even though it's quite far out. It's a cracking hit from Ethan Walker. Thought the net was going to bulge in the top right. McGill gets a strong hand on it at full stretch.
Should be.
This is Hull, cross back into now the skipper Pike. Duru's an option over on that far side, so too is Murphy Worrell, but Duru can take over now. Gets away from the man in blue and white, and Nielsen clears, only as far away as Harlock. Then the blue and white shirts converge around and win it back for Enciso. Murphy Worrell has stayed back, Duru went up, but Enciso happy to play it back in now to Jackson. Jackson again just surveying the areas ahead of him, decides to square it over to a Fire. Fire does similar. First time layoff from Hinchelwood, does find Perpion, but Haddo was in there as well. Barging his way around there is Harry Leonard, keeps hold of possession for the visitors. This again is Duru. Midway through this first half, just joining us, goalless as you can see there. But a couple of big chances for Blackburn. One a really good save from Tom McGill. The other one just wide. But Enciso's already had a couple of efforts and another block. Behind it goes for the corner.
Come on, George.
Oh, this is the third attempt he's had from that kind of a position, just outside the area, cutting in from the left.
Jared,
and again, they get
you mark if you have to.
Another important touch on it behind for the corner.
Paul, anything over the edge of the box, Paul. Casper, you're still live. Tom, you're all right there, Tom. Just split him.
Sent towards that back post.
That's not a great header, is it?
It's Perpion who's just switched over to the left and then lays it off for Enciso. Really good floated ball out to Barrington, who's also just switched flank for the moment. Barrington towards that back post looking for Perpion. And that one will bounce out rather harmlessly for the goal kick.
Yeah, Ethan, good start, you two. Well done. Keep it going. Really good. Jack Hinchelwood stand between the two of them.
Well, of the 3 games in the PL2, there have been no goals so far. It finished goalless Crystal Palace against Manchester United. It's goalless between Leicester and Wolves. And as you can see there, it's still goalless here. Plenty of chances though.
Ethan, get in the pitch.
Where the gap is, Ethan.
Hinchelwood goes in against his opposite member, Harlock. Set away is Harry Leonard. Samuel's back into McGill, just wandering towards the edge of his area before he floats one up towards halfway, straight into the thighs of George Pratt. Murphy Worrell just had a bit too much on that for Dan Pike over there. He was able to keep it in, but couldn't prevent the goal kick for the Seagulls.
One goal, you can stay, Jared. Use Tom, Jared.
Jackson into Hinchelwood, back to the centre half. And McGill forced long, just slips as he clears that one. Enciso was the target, but he will pick it up again here. Well, that's a neat turn in field from Julio Enciso. Certainly been the Seagulls' brightest threat going forward. Perpion just takes his eye off it. Nielsen had done the right thing there. Continued his run off the layoff, but just a bit ahead of himself.
And again. Let's come back where we are, please, back.
Well, even if the Albion were to win today, they wouldn't be able to go up at all in the PL2 table. 5 points behind Everton at the start of play today, in 9th, and the visitors Blackburn 2 off bottom spot in 12th, so they'll be worried about relegation. Harlock with the switch out to this near side, nodded on towards Bloxham. He's looked lively in this opening half an hour. Haddo now. Haddo again. Japan under-20 international, can't find a teammate in field, so O'Mahony has just dropped deep to help out.
Back behind the ball, Harry! Wait now. Wait, Ethan. Stay narrow. Behind of him. Wait, Ethan, go on!
Albion gives it back to Nielsen. A little bit of space here for Hinchy to work with. Barrington has stayed over on this near side. Looks as though he's switched from left to right. Finds a delivery into the area. Might fall here for Hinchy. Samuels has stayed up as well. Left-footed cross is repelled initially by Dan Pike. And then I think it's Samuels who gives away the free kick. Gary Parsons nearby on the scene. Shame as the Albion were just starting to build up a little bit of a head of steam with that attack. As it stands though, maybe Blackburn just edging it, probably had the clearer cut chances. All of the Seagulls' chances have come from Julio and Enciso. Well, call for the challenge on Haddo. You can see the skipper Hinchy. The referee Gary Parsons straight to his book and puts Haddo in there. I think the Seagulls players were hoping for a little bit more there. Afire just put a bit too much on it, so he needed to get there and did. The challenge was a bit heavy from Jay Haddo. And the skipper Hinchy has got in the book. I think that for dissent from Jack Hinchy. Given away again by the Albion, so Walker looks to surge down this near side. Good defending from the Seagulls. O'Mahony just about able to keep onto it. Hinchelwood back in now to Nielsen. Blackburn keeping the pressure on. The Seagulls are able to find an outlet to Samuels on that far side. Slightly heavy touch from O'Mahony, but gets there ahead of Harlock. And now Hinchelwood can take over. Well, I don't think he's given the free kick there. I think it's more just for the treatment that Gary Parsons has brought a stoppage here. It was a heavy touch from O'Mahony, but he seemed to get back there ahead of Harlock. Maybe just taking a bit of man after the challenge as well. Well, the intensity from the visitors has been decent in this opening half an hour. It's led to a couple of really good chances. The first from O'Grady-Macken, which was just wide. And then the effort from outside of the area from Walker. Got everything behind it. So too did McGill. We'll see it again here. Just sits up for him nicely, Walker. And that is a quite brilliant stop. Full stretch from Tom McGill to keep it goalless. As I say, up the other end for the Seagulls, it's been Enciso looking lively on the left wing, cut inside on a few occasions. One of them led to a really good stop from Aidan Dowling in the Blackburn goal. There's a slight nick on it on its way through, which made the save that little bit more tricky. He was able to get a firm hand on it, put it behind for the corner. So indeed it wasn't a free kick after that from O'Mahony. Back underway with the drop ball. This is where Blackburn have just shown a little bit more intent in the press. They've really cramped the Seagulls for time. They want it back here. Hinchy driving down the middle here. He's got O'Mahony ahead of him. O'Mahony just lost sight of the ball there for a minute and then flying in. Hinchy's got to be really careful. I mean, I'm sure that won't be a booking, but still got 12 minutes of this first half to go. Already walking that proverbial tightrope on a booking.
Yes, Luca, go on. Mark, stay inside.
Let him get set first.
Ready to go, that's enough, stay there.
Jay, you're going to be locked in, Jay. Jay, you're going to be locked in. Look forward. You have to spin it.
Yes, good. Come on, yes. Mark.
So full now to O'Mahony, just straight out to this near side up against Haddo. That's a good looking ball and nodded behind for the corner. Well, a bit of wing play there from O'Mahony. Does the business, enough to force a corner. Former Cork City player, Ireland under-17 player of the year last year. In the early stages of his contract runs out 2025 for the Seagulls after his move. Enciso's come short. Looking in to switch it onto his right. Brought down by Murphy Worrell in a really promising position for the Albion. A few of the Seagulls players just check on Enciso.
He'll get up, don't worry about it, he'll get up.
He's all right.
Get it set.
You may have heard on the near side, he'll get up, don't worry about it, and indeed he has. So he shrugged off that nudge and then steps over alongside Barrington to discuss who's going to have a go with this one. But Enciso rather reluctantly trudges off, and it will be left for Luca Barrington. Barrington! Oh, it's magnificent from Barrington! He knew exactly what he wanted to do with it. Enciso wanders off. Dowling had absolutely no chance there. It's a beautiful effort from the set piece from Barrington. Back in the starting lineup today, his 5th of the season, and in some style. Well, he's made quite an impact, the 18-year-old, since joining from Manchester City. And he continues to have an excellent season. Been involved with the under-18s in the FA Youth Cup, but also stepped up to the plate in the under-21 since that move. What a spectacular free kick that was to open the scoring with 10 minutes left of this first 45. Hoisted clear towards halfway. Now Haddo will try and get this one down, nods it in field. They do eventually get the ball down to the net. That's a neat flick there from Walker. Stung the palms of McGill earlier on. The Seagulls with the lead, a fire up towards halfway again. O'Mahony does really well controlling that on the bounce. And now Nielsen has a good amount of space ahead of him. Bursting ahead of him is Perpion. Does well just to hang on to it now. We haven't seen this too much in the opening 36 minutes. Seagulls defenders as high up as halfway under no real pressure. McGill up towards Enciso. Does well to rise there and get anything on it. Not the tallest Enciso, but Blackburn are able to overturn possession, only for a moment. Well, what a difference a goal makes up until that point. Blackburn strikers, attackers were all over the Seagulls defenders. They've just got that extra bit of time now. Don't want an unforced error though here. Back into McGill. He makes sure they go one better than that actually. Really good chest control from Perpion. Gets it at the second time of asking as well. The layoff into Nielsen. Hinchy into Hinchelwood. And now Jackson. Much more swagger about the Albion's play. Really neat layoff that from Enciso, and he'll pick it up again here. Up against Duru, who's just backing off. Enciso looking for the second of the night. O'Mahony was close to it. May fall to Samuels here. Does well just to get the ball down. Samuels played in by Enciso again. And the momentum has totally shifted in the Albion's favour since that goal. Won themselves another corner.
Jared, mark. You see marker.
Well, it's one of those free kicks that you never get bored of seeing from Luca Barrington. We'll see it a few more times tonight, but Blackburn with a bit of defending to do first from this Albion corner. And it is the goal scorer, Barrington. Decent delivery. Hinchelwood rose towards it, just over his head. Dowling goes long, keeps it on the right wing. Underneath it was Hinchy. And Fire steps in, straight back to Pratt, immediately looking forward as he backtracks. Gets it back there from O'Grady Macken. Work from Jackson to beat his man to it, and then wins the throw-in. Well, it's just about how the Seagulls can manage the end of this first half. No doubt Blackburn will come out of the traps quickly again in the second half. Oh, and McGill under a bit of pressure there. Looks as though there was a high arm on him. May have even been struck in the head there. Well, the Blackburn player protests his innocence. It's Harry Leonard. I think initially it's a fair challenge, but it's the follow-through on McGill, which is fairly dangerous. It's Gary Parsons just wandering backwards there to have a word with his official on that far side. And Gary Parsons has given a penalty here. Well, shock in the Albion ranks. Harry Leonard goes in on McGill and just cleans out Tom McGill. Well, perplexed by that one. That's a right hook against Tom McGill, but it will be a penalty for Blackburn Rovers. Well, I'll need another look at that, but a bit shocked by this decision, because the ball doesn't move. McGill controls it and is then totally cleaned out by Harry Leonard. But Harry Leonard it will be, with a great opportunity, gifted to Mike Sherron's side from the spot. Can he capitalise? He can, just McGill went the right way, just underneath him. And McGill hammers it away in frustration. Well, that's a rather peculiar set of circumstances that has led to that equaliser. Need to have another look at that replay. McGill can't believe it. You'll see the penalty again. It's hit well enough by Leonard into the bottom right corner. Good control from McGill there. And then there's a slight touch on it, but I'm still struggling with that decision. Well, rather out of the blue there from a Seagulls point of view. They have struggled on occasion to pass their way out of trouble. That time, McGill seemingly did enough. There was just a little bit of movement on the ball. He got something on it before Leonard made contact. And it looked like a decision that should have been given the other way. But as it is, we are back on level terms just before the break. And now the Seagulls will feel they have a point to prove, go on and win this in the second half. Perhaps they'll go one better and restore their lead before the interval. Well, Shannon Ruth just went out of the picture there. He's still offering plenty of encouragement to his players. Feels as though no justice has been done there, as Enciso looks to latch onto one down the far side. Gets the thumbs up, but it does bounce out for the Blackburn goal kick. Well, the game finally poised as we approach the interval. Mike Sharon and his team will feel as though they'd done enough before the Brighton opener to take the lead, so they'll feel on the balance of play 1-all's about right at half-time. Although Mahoney finds a way out to Perpion. Work just to keep that one in. Look at the Blackburn shirts around him though, hunting in packs, and Perpion reacts to a challenge there. Frustration just boiling over here slightly. Gary Parsons wants to have a word with Leonard and Cam Perpion. Well, Leonard in the thick of another incident just after the penalty. Well, that's good to see at the end of it. Slight high five, so we'll get on with it. And now Nielsen gets on with it. Gary Parsons not happy with something again. See there, at least 3 minutes of added on time at the end of this first half. And I imagine Shannon Ruth will just want to get his players in at half-time as soon as he can, just to calm them down a bit. Need to firm up whether Hinchy did go in the book earlier for dissent. So he'll need to be careful. Perpion's already had a talking to as well. Leonard. Well, we managed to find the equaliser from the spot after a rather fortuitous decision, it looks, on the first inspection. Nielsen worked to skip in field of Ethan Walker. Hinchy goes back to McGill. Doesn't go short this time. Slightly sliced effort and out of play for the throw-in. Just taking his time here, Jay Haddo. He's able to find the head of Leonard, who's been in the thick of it certainly in this first half. So too is the Brighton skipper, Jack Hinchy. I think the decision is free kick because of handball. And so we'll definitely have time for this free kick to be swung in, perhaps. Harlock is over it, so too looks like George Pratt. And Pratt just wanders away now. Harlock just clips it up towards the back post, and Samuels will be able to watch that one out for a goal kick. There were some appeals from the Blackburn players. They're just off the ball. They're asking for something.
Don't need to drop any deeper. In the header there, Pratty. Okay, you got to get connected with Marcel. In behind them, go on, gamble awful. That's the second chance. Don't go deeper, Pratty, keep him up.
So McGill will feel hard done by on his return to PL2 action. Manages to find Enciso, and Mo Mahoney now has just drifted out to the left wing. This may bounce behind for a corner, just about kept in play. Now Duru into Murphy Worrell. Stepping in there was the captain, does well, and Hinchelwood can pick up the pieces. There won't be enough time for another chance. Well, Luca Barrington's free kick gave the Albion the lead, and a superb free kick it was. But then the controversy came just before half-time, with this ball back into McGill, who knocks it away from Leonard, gets nothing of the ball, but wins a penalty for the visitors, meaning at half-time, it is Albion 1, Blackburn 1. We'll be back with you shortly.
Yeah, use that ball, use that ball. From the coast. He's making noises. He's just gonna give me something. He's gonna give me something.
James. Vin, you're now doing it every time.
You've kept that up. What chances up, mate?
He's got a point though on that one. He has got a point. James, are you going to back me up or?
Need to move that. Doing your donkey. I just put it up. What's his flair? See? That's tech. Well,
Their winger, they're through on goal. We can see, but it looks good when I get a snap of it. My profile, man. You know what I mean? Oh my god. The one of them 5 extra followers could be grand. People that have made it a lot further for less.
Pick it up, smash it back and go, don't move, mate. You won't have to. Big question, big debate. Would you have let yourself go up for that corner? Yeah, but they're 3-2 down the back. There's no heavy bit of Enciso. best one you've ever done. That'd be an unbelievable Don't sell me short. Look one in the air. What is it? What's in here, Ralph? Suicide, what a clue. Because of you, that James. Yep. Are they playing tomorrow? Yeah, well done, Finn, well done, Finn, well done, well done. Finn, good work.
You all right? Jamie. Just might need to be ready. You might need to come on. Yeah. You're going to start. You might come on after 5. Yeah. No. Hanging. David. Yeah, Matt, that's a through ball, I like it. It's inventive. Jamie, can I have that ball, please? Sorry, guys.
Welcome back to My Albion TV Live. Half-time at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre. Albion under-21s 1, Blackburn Rovers under-21s 1. And there was a fair bit of drama for the Blackburn equaliser just before the half-time break. Harry Leonard in on the challenge on Tom McGill. Wins the penalty. Didn't seem as though Tom McGill did anything wrong, quite the opposite. Leonard steps up to find the equaliser, and that will come about 8 minutes after a fantastic Luca Barrington free kick to get us underway. So set up for a fascinating second half. Couple of subs here for the visitors. It's the end of Harry Leonard's night, so he's going to be replaced by Dom Biniek. So about to join us is Adam Caddick. He's coming on to replace Jared Harlock. Well, interesting move. Leonard, who was more than involved towards the end of that first half. Probably quite a wise move from Mike Sherrin to take him out of the melting pot. And we are back underway. The Seagulls no doubt will feel slightly hard done by. Shannon Ruth, I'm sure, would have just tried to calm his players down and say, let your football do the talking, go and find a winner. Maybe a few more in this second half. Enciso more than capable of doing that on a few occasions in the first half. He's continuing on this near side, Brighton's left. And interesting to see if the visitors continue with their high energetic press like they did at the start of the first half. Good work from Samuels to win that one back, and Enciso can take over. Look at the space opening up ahead of him. Into Barrington now, just trying to find some space for the shot. Instead, it's over to Perpion with the low drive. Enciso may get there just wide. Well, really bright opening to this second 45 from the Seagulls. All started with Imari Samuels winning it back. Enciso able to drive forward, picks out a pass to Barrington. And then it was Enciso on the end of it after the Perpignan effort, just wide. So elsewhere in the PL2 tonight, just over 10 minutes left of the game between Leicester City and Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's still goalless. It finished earlier. Goalless between Crystal Palace and Man United. So only goals of the day coming here so far. Samuel sends one towards the edge of the area. Mahoney lets it bounce. Enciso closing in. Now Hinchy can spread it out again to Perpignan. Much better start to this half than the first from the Seagulls. Falls in there to Hinchy. Might fall again for Enciso. Two really good blocks from Blackburn. Try to clear now. Trying to hurdle away from trouble as Ethan Walker. Can't complete the clearance. So Samuels over to Enciso. They haven't dealt with Enciso effectively so far. Blackburn in a live wire all evening. Captain Hinchy into Perpignan, moving it around nicely here. And then Hinchelwood goes for goal straight at Aidan Dowling. Well, the gaps are starting to emerge. We've only had just under 3 minutes of this second half. Doesn't look good there for George Pratt as well, who's just gone to ground. This is another good move from the Albion. First of all, the shot comes in from Hinchy and Enciso on the follow-up. Good block. And there was a chance in there for Hinchelwood as well. Just opened up for him. He's able to drive towards the edge of the area. Can't put it either side of Dowling. George Pratt back on his feet, looks to be okay. And that's breakage in play, just will disrupt the rhythm of Brighton a little bit more. As Dowling hits it out of his hands into the Seagulls' half. A fire is there to nod it forward as far as Murphy Worrell. When Mahoney tries to get the ball down, just snuffed out there by Pratt. This now is Leo Duru. That won't stay in play, so chance for the Albion to start again. The foundations for another move forward. We're going to have another substitution here first. Well, apologies for the loss of pictures there. We'll look to get this back up and running for you shortly. Just bear with us. Well, apologies for the loss of pictures in this second half. This My Albion TV stream. We are working to get the connection back up for you. And then, of course, when it is back up and running, we'll get you up to speed on anything we may have missed. Well, once again, apologies for the loss of pictures here on My Albion TV Live for this PL2 action between Brighton and Hove Albion and Blackburn Rovers under 21s. Do stay with us. We are working to get the pictures back for you. So do keep the stream going and we'll have pictures for you as soon as we possibly can. Well, once again, apologies for the loss of pictures here on My Albion TV Live. This is a live stream of Brighton Hove Albion against Blackburn Rovers. We're in the second half. That clock in the top left is right. The game is continuing. We just had a temporary loss of pictures, which we are working very hard to get back to you. So do stay with us. We'll have the pictures with you as soon as we possibly can. Well, once again, apologies for that slight interruption. We are back underway. This is Enciso. Samuels to Enciso. Well, perfect timing. The Seagulls restore their lead through Julio Enciso. And it's exactly what he's deserved. He's looked lively all evening. Had a great first half and finishes off that move neatly. Brighton Hove Albion 2, Blackburn Rovers 1. Well, Samuels has looked decent as well on Brighton's left, and he combines nicely here with Enciso. Great cut back to him, and from close range he was never going to miss Julio Enciso. It is his second of the season. Also has an assist in the PL2, so definitely deserved that, and the Albion will feel as though justice has now been done after that controversial leveller for Blackburn Rovers from the spot. So the Albion back on top, 5 minutes short of the hour mark. Interesting to see how Mike Sherron's Blackburn respond to that. They certainly were the brighter to start off with in the first half, but the Seagulls have warmed to the occasion.
You know why? Be available, J.R. Dalton, thank you. J.R. Dalton. Yeah, give yourself a bit more room, Ali.
Stay over, Ben. Stay over.
This now is O'Grady Macken. Again, just barged off it by Enciso. Blackburn just can't deal with him at the moment on Brighton's left. Good switch of play over now to Perpion. Nilsson's continued his run, but Perpion will just hold it up. This is Barrington. Good patient play from the Seagulls in the Blackburn half, crucially. A Fire looking to thread one through. Bursting away from trouble is O'Grady Macken. Tracked by a Fire. That's really good defending from the former Bromley youth player. And they're just managing this one well. Ooh, that's a strong challenge in on Enciso by Leo Duro. Gary Parsons reaches for his pocket once again.
Great decision, referee. You get up. You want treatment, yes or no? That's brilliant, referee. No.
There's no way giving the yellow for that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what your caution's for.
Indeed, it is a yellow card for Neoduru. Not too many complaints from the Blackburn fullback. Well, Enciso does enough just to shield the ball from Duru, and then just clatters into Enciso. And Gary Parsons has to judge that to be a bookable offence. Well, just over half an hour to go. Very fiery encounter we've had already, as O'Mahony tries to bring it under his spell. Good work to get away from Pratt and then bring Perpion into play. Nielsen's with the overlapping run again. Delivery is in towards the back post and just ahead of Enciso and Barrington, who'd stayed up. Well, they'll want to find just one more chance and finish it to open up a 2-goal gap. Really good delivery in from Kasper Nielsen. Starting to look effective on both wings now, Shannon Ruth's side. Enciso leaping high. That means that Hinshelwood can hang on to it here and play it back to McGill. Chasing it down there was Walker. Strong clearance that from McGill. That means that Barrington can twirl away from a couple of challenges and then shape it out towards Nielsen. Good amount of confidence about the way the Seagulls are knocking this around. Samuels again. Into the channel now for Barrington. Can he find a telling delivery? He's got Samuels as the reinforcements. The left foot of Samuels towards the back post, looking for Perpion. And the substitute there, Biniek, can't prevent the corner. Well, a really important phase in the game for the Seagulls. They can kill off the game with another goal. As we approach the hour mark, certainly on top now. And it'll be Barrington will be looking to replicate what he did in the reverse of this fixture, a goal and an assist. He's already got the goal in some style earlier from that free kick. Maybe he can supply the assist here from the corner. There was an option for the short one, but Barrington with all eyes on the area. Sends it towards the back post. Nielsen goes down. It's Jackson that goes down, sorry. Now Perpion. Perpion towards the back post. And it's gone in! Hinshelwood was there, gets enough on it. I think the final touch may have come from Odella Fire. Just hung up there by Cam Perpion towards the back post. Nodded back across goal from Hinshelwood. And it just needed anything to take it over the line. The cross from Perpion is good enough. Hinshelwood was there and then just bundled home by Odella Fire. It may be the skipper, Dan Pike, that's put it into his own net. Shannon Ruth won't care, and the Albion players don't care. There is the goal that we were just talking about before the corner. Now Brighton Hove Albion 3, Blackburn Rovers 1. And you have to say they deserved it. Well, if you have just joined us, I've said it before, but where have you been? Great game this evening we've been treated to. It could get even better for the Albion as it's dinked over the bar. Bounces off the top of the crossbar and over. Oh, the Seagulls almost out of sight there. Just dwelling on it at the back, and then it's just chipped towards goal by Barrington. Looking for his second of the game. And the visitors rather bamboozled just now. stick to their guns and play it out from the back until Pratt sends it long. Hangs in the Sussex sky, that one. Eventually, though, Hinchy can bring it down. Squares it now to Samuels. Finds another good ball into the channel. Pike had to be sure. Prods it out for the throw-in, which Enciso moves over quickly to take. Back into Samuels. Continuing to turn the screw here, the Albion. Slightly heavy touch again from O'Mahony. Done really well to keep that in. Looks as though it did stay in at first glance. And then Enciso in towards Perpion. Well, it is one-way traffic at the moment. Blackburn Rovers do not have an answer to this sustained spell of Seagulls pressure. This now is Duru. He needs to be careful on the booking. Back into Dowling. You switch it over to that left corner of the area. This is Pratt. He just clips one up to Ethan Walker. And they just want some time on the ball here, Blackburn Rovers. Every time they do win it back, they just can't hang on to it. There's another case in point. This is Perpion. Nips it straight back from Don Biniak. Faced up by Pratt. Couple of step overs towards the byline. Has got support in the shape of Nielsen. This now is Hinchy. Another good move from the Albion. And this could be dangerous for Blackburn. Enciso. Enciso still. Samuels to his left. Good possession play from the Seagulls. Can they find a finish to it as Perpion is brought down? Gary Parsons was looking to play some form of advantage. Wasn't enough of it. An obvious free kick. So the Seagulls will have the chance to extend their lead further. And put the game out of any sort of doubt. Another substitution coming up for the visitors. Christy Montgomery is getting ready. He was a second half substitute in the reverse of this fixture, the former Scotland under-16 international. And he'll come on for the remaining 25 minutes of this one. It's the 16-year-old Paul Murphy-Worrell who makes way for Montgomery. So Barrington's eyeing this one up. So too is Enciso. Barrington and Enciso, probably the two leading contenders for player of the match so far. It's left for Barrington again. Has a go, just wide again. Narrowly wide. Looking just to shape it into the right corner. And he wasn't too far off again, Barrington. Well, Dowling was sprawling. He was probably beaten. But he can't find the right side of the post on this occasion, Luca Barrington. That's nodded back towards O'Mahony on the halfway. And then just smash forward towards Dowling, who can take his time with this one. In goes O'Mahony, which forces the clearance. Samuel's able just to shrug off Walker. Helping out there is Jackson. And then McGill goes for the no-nonsense approach, out for the throw-in on this near side. See there on the screen, Mike Sherrin not happy with something, so he's having a word with the fourth official, Michael Ryan. But it could get worse for Mike Sherrin. Barrington looking to thread it through the eye of the needle. Perpion was the runner. They'll get another chance at it here, though. This is Nielsen looking infield, supported by Barrington. First time ball in, was looking for Perpion. Too much on it, may fall to Samuels, but there is a foul in there from a Seagulls player. Well, there was one goal in the game, Midlands derby between Leicester and Wolves. Finished 1-0 to Wolves away at Leicester. But Blackburn are to find a way back into this one. They'll need one sharpish. This is the substitute Biniek. Back to him from O'Grady Macken. Caddick spreads it out to this near side. Seagulls just drop off and stay in shape. That's a good diagonal ball out. This again is Biniek. Barrington goes back to help out. Tom blocks it. Hasn't seen too much of in this second half after a bright opening. Bit of space here though for Duru. Bloxham holds it up. And now O'Grady Macken. Montgomery getting involved now, but rather wasteful in the end as they can't keep the ball in play. So Brighton throwing on this near side, which won't be in too much of a rush to take. And there is a chance for Marcus Eiffel to find his second PL2 goal in a blue and white shirt. Also a chance for Jamie Mullins to get his first PL2 goal. Has scored in the Sussex Senior Cup against Burgess Hill. Looking for his first PL2 goal. Luca Barrington it is that was substituted off. A very good shift from the former Man City player. Doing the chasing there is Ethan Walker, but it's a bit more composed and assured from the Albion comparatively. Looking at that first half, just everything was a bit rushed. And rather understandably, Blackburn came out the block so quickly. And just a little bit more lethargic now. Seagulls starting to dominate. That was definitely Blackburn's game plan, just to try and blow away the Seagulls. Can they find a way back into this game? Samuel sliding in. Turns into a good ball forward for Enciso. First chance for Eiffel to try and latch onto something, but Blackburn player gets there first. Strong in the challenge there is Hinchelwood. Shannon Ruth liked that one. Hinchelwood just about gets enough on it to Nielsen. The return ball doesn't get enough on it to Hinchelwood. He will pick it up now though. Just looking so assured in that midfield. This is breakthrough season, Jack Hinchelwood, and he may have set away Mullins here. Blackburn just about do enough on this occasion, and then a ball through the posts in towards Ethan Walker. Walker for a moment looked as though he would have been crowded out, still going. Good run this Walker, just shrugged off. Play goes on. Walker really wanted to hit that one, just bobbled as he controlled it, gets it back again. And Fire gets something on it for a moment, but Walker finds the ball once more. Samuels then stepping in.
Julio!
This now was Hinchelwood. Well, again, a slight break up in the pictures there, not for the first time this evening. So apologies for the loss of pictures. 3-1 to the Seagulls. And we are working very hard to get these pictures back to you as soon as we do. So once again, apologies for the loss of pictures here on My Albion TV Live. This is a live stream of Brighton Hove Albion up against Blackburn Rovers in the PL2. It was 3-1 to the Seagulls when we lost the pictures. Goals from Barrington, Enciso as well. And of course, Adela Fire, who just bundled the Seagulls third in. That was after Harry Leonard had levelled it up just before half-time with a controversial penalty. So stick with us. We are working very hard to get these pictures back to you. Well, the last time we lost the pictures there, and when we came back, it led to an Enciso goal. So perhaps we'll have another goal here for the Albion. Apologies again there for the interruption to this stream this evening. Free kick in an excellent position. Enciso is the only one over it. As we approach quarter of an hour to play. Enciso with all eyes on the area. What kind of delivery can he find? In towards the back post. Hinchelwood's underneath it again. Goes all the way over though to Hinchy. This now is Samuels. Hinchelwood can turn. Find a ball over to Nielsen. Well, he got well underneath that, leaning back. And that's almost outside of the Lancing postcode area. The change for the visitors. It's the end of Tom Bloxham's evening. He's going to be replaced by Ryan Wilson. So a final roll of the dice from Mike Sherron. It'll have to be a late show if they can get anything out of this one in the PL2 this evening. Just as an update for you, while we had those loss of pictures, there was quite an important incident. Jay Haddo received his second yellow card. You may remember, picked up that first yellow card in the first half for a rather late challenge on Julio Enciso. And while we lost the pictures, there was another yellow card for Jay Haddo. So Blackburn Rovers will play the remainder of this one with 10 men. So Nielsen with the ball in his hands, just asking for a bit of movement. Eventually finds a ball into the substitute Mullins. Montgomery it is, making a nuisance of himself, does well to win it back and then win the free kick for Rovers. There's a booking in there as well for, looks like Casper Nielsen, just trudges away, no complaints from him.
Can you get it?
Lock on! First contact!
So a little under 30 minutes of the 90 to go.
Get more connected, Hitchy!
Seagulls still with that 2-goal cushion.
Christy, have a look.
Enciso there ready to pounce. The ball is whipped in and McGill confidently claims by the penalty spot. He's just going to take his time here, you feel. Underarm bowling action that out to the right flank. And then the Seagulls switch it out now to Samuels, just in front of the Blackburn Rovers dugout. Well, so far, you have to say Shannon Ruth's side have managed this game very well. Looks as though frustrations may have boiled over towards the end of the first half, but Shannon Ruth able to get them in and calm them down at half-time. Ifill now, into Hinchelwood. Hinchelwood thought for a minute about having a shy at goal. Enciso will have a shy at goal and find the bottom right corner and make it Brighton 4, Blackburn Rovers 1. Well, it's exactly what they've deserved tonight. They've just turned the screw, and Enciso has looked spectacular all evening. They haven't been able to deal with him. Just picks his spot, Dowling really with no chance, and adds a good bit of gloss onto this scoreline for the Seagulls, which they've richly deserved. And now, Julio Enciso on a hat-trick. So it's the end of the night for Cam Perpion. And another Irish youngster comes on for the final 10 minutes, Matt Everett. This is his 5th PL2 appearance of the season. They've all come from the bench, so he himself may have a point to prove. Good game to come on. You're 4-1 up.
Get it, Leo.
Hey, Leo, sit him, mate. Leo, sit him. Hey, Ethan, drop on that back. Drop. Ethan, out the moment there. Good mark. Harley, right.
Jackson forward now to Everett. Just dropped, slotted into central midfield position as it's sent forward to Ifill. Dowling needs to make sure, just juggles it up and volleys it towards halfway. And then some good juggling from Nielsen to find Hinchy. Plenty of swagger about the way the Albion are knocking it around now as Ifill looks to send Samuels down this left wing. Good work from Christy Montgomery. They almost made a hash of that clearance. In the end, Dowling is able to gobble it up. Mullins closes the gap. Now closing in there is Enciso. Looks to have stayed in a more traditional striker's position now, as Everett gets the ball down. Samuels back into Jackson, another player who's looked good in his breakthrough PL2 season. Good few chances for the under-18s now in Shannon Ruth's side, because Likes of Sungi, Beadle, Cahill, Turns, Furlong and Spong all going on loan. There's plenty of opportunity. Nielsen. The layoff is from Enciso. And just for the moment, Seagulls players camped in the Blackburn Rovers half. Good work to move it out there to Eiffel. Into the area he goes, Hinshelwood. A fire lets fly. Good block there from George Pratt. Back to goal here in Enciso. Just never really had his balance, but Hinchy will mop up and send away Nielsen. May find Mullins. Damage limitation now for Mike Sherrin's Blackburn. Jackson over to Samuels. More space again for Eiffel. Up against Pipe. Hurdles his challenge and then finds an outlet with Everett. Everett wins it back. Maybe he'll have a go. Instead goes out to Nielsen. He's trying to find Mullins, but instead straight into the path of Biniak. Seagulls try to win it straight back, high up the pitch. So a slight nudge over there on that far side. Blackburn Rovers free kick.
Julio! Julio, you okay? Do it! Good, yes, calm now. Yes, Ben, take it. You do it, front.
Jackson goes back into McGill.
Shuffle across Heath. Screen the six.
And it's just a case of counting down the clock for Mike Sherrin's side now. Energy levels have dropped a good notch or two since that first half. They really came out flying, hunting down the Brighton defenders. You can see now, probably went a bit too early, with just under 6 minutes of the 90 to go.
Don't mind it. Yeah, keep it in their half. Keep it in their half. Look, Odell if you need. Odell in their half.
And once again, all the outfield blue and white shirts in the Blackburn half. Well, it doubles up as a training ground for the first team number of the Brighton teams, and it's got a training ground feel about this game. That's credit to the Seagulls. They've stuck to their task nicely, just ground down the Lancashire side. Bit of space on that left flank now, though, for Christy Montgomery. Pratt now back into Dowling, afforded some time outside of his area. This is Ryan Wilson. And just lifted towards halfway. A fire just with the tug there. It was a good turn from Ethan Walker. And a fire knew it, so just drags him down. No complaints. Just to the right of the screen there, you can see Gary Parsons wasn't ready for that free kick to be taken because he was issuing a yellow card to Adela Fire, so we'll have that one again. So coming up on My Albion Digital, no action at the weekend for Roberto De Zerbi's side, so next game will be in the FA Cup, last 16 away at Stoke next Tuesday. There's also FA Cup action coming for Jens Schuer's women's team up against Coventry United ladies this Sunday. As we see final substitute, an outfield player for the Albion this evening, Lee Kavanagh. It's the end of the night for a fire. Just after receiving that booking, Shannon Ruth with that in mind, so a few minutes under the belt of Kavanagh to see this one out tonight. And straight away in the thick of it there, bit of a clumsy challenge, bit of a loose nut, shall we say. A decent position for Blackburn to have a crack at goal, perhaps. Well, it's quite the Irish contingent we've got on the field. Make that 4 players at least, with Kavanagh, Everett, O'Mahony and Mullins.
The 3 was in a straight line. Tell me up with that.
So Ethan Walker eyeing this one up, looking for a consolation as we approach 2 minutes of the 90 remaining. Walker hits it, and it flies over Tom McGill's goal. Well, certainly got the power behind that one, Ethan Walker, not the direction. Jackson back into McGill. Credit to Ethan Walker, still giving chase. Brighton do play their way out really well until that point. And O'Grady Macken stepped in, but in the second phase, Seagulls able to turn over possession. They've done that on a good few occasions tonight. That's a good switch over to the right wing. Enciso drifting away from O'Grady Macken. Nielsen was trying to help it on into a wall of navy blue. Then with the outside of the boot from Adam Caddick, kept in play by Don Biniek. And they themselves now look for the switch over to this near side. This is Pike, the captain. Just goes down there. I'm not sure if that was from the challenge from Eiffel. Perhaps a spot a cramp. Maybe he'll just soldier on. Not long to go now. All eyes looking towards the ball of how much added on time we'll have. Eiffel is called into action defensively, shrugs off the challenge and then clips the ball forward to Enciso. The run has been made ahead of him by Mullins and then hauled to ground. This time Parsons was close enough. The waves play on. Biniek in a tussle there with Nielsen. Everett goes to help out as well. And Mullins dropping deeper.
Get the ball come to you.
Caddick looking for the run of Duran. Just shrugs off the challenge of Samuels. Left for Caddick again. That's a good looking delivery, and they do get one back. Plants the header into the bottom right corner, Ethan Walker. Probably about right. The scoreline of 4-2. Expert delivery there from the substitute Caddick. And finished nicely. McGill was never going to stop it. Walker fancies another one. Frustrated with the situation. Had a really good chance in the first half and was denied by a brilliant save from Tom McGill, flying to his right. Samuel's down the line. Hinchell would try to get something on it. Everett's there to break up play and then half volley it up towards Enciso. He's always going to be beaten to it though by Wilson. And his opposite number Mullins now with a chance to gallop down that far side. Hinchy finds its way over now to Jackson. Eiffel with a header into Enciso. Drops the shoulder. This for the hat-trick and just over. Well, I say just over, that was quite generous. Flying over, but off balance again Enciso. Another good move. Eiffel involved. It's done well from the substitutes bench this evening.
Good. Lime, how can you see that line?
Because I'm looking 2 yards away.
Terrible.
That's fucking horrendous.
Terrible decision. I'm not going to have a go because I'm not big time.
BJ. Keeper. Go on in. He goes. Good, Tom. It's around it. Yes, Julio. Go, Julio.
Enciso getting involved again. Popped up everywhere as this game has gone on. A couple of goals as well to his name. Nice stat from Everett, trying to find a ball out now to Mullins over on that. Sorry, it's Enciso. Enciso making good progress. Offloads it now to Samuels. Eiffel, left edge of the area, just faced up by Pike. This could be dangerous, it could be 5, just wide. Well, it will be the last action of a 6-goal thriller. Shannon Ruth will be thrilled in how the Seagulls reacted to the late equaliser at the end of the first half. Luca Barrington got us underway with an expert free kick. Leonard drew Blackburn level at half-time. And then two goals from Enciso, a Delafier, a late consolation for Ethan Walker, mean that it's finished here. Brighton Hove Albion 4, Blackburn Rovers 2.